guys, welcome back to another video. This is Martin. As you can see, we're doing something different today. We are going to be looking through my top 6 teams rather, to start a save with for your first ever save on Football Manager 21. So as you know, with Football Manager, most of you, I think, a good few of you, have never played the game and don't even have the game bought yet. If you're used to playing career mode on FIFA or whatever you play on PES, I don't know who would ever play PES, but anyways, it's a massive step up. It is really a massive step up in the level of attention to detail, and it's intimidating. And the kind of stigma you always hear with Football Manager, and you always kind of think of when you hear of Football Manager, is, oh, this fella, he brought like the Sunday League team who was in like the 8th or 9th tier of English football all the way to the Premier League, and he went to won the Champions League and all that, and he's class and all that sort of shit. That's really difficult, and I've only been playing Football Manager 2 years personally, and I've only ever done one save outside of a top league, and it was insanely difficult. And I have to say, if I had started with that save 2 years ago when I started Football Manager, I 100% would not still be playing Football Manager. I would have got sick of it and quit. Be like, this is shite. So obviously, how easy you want to start with is up to you, and there's a few teams here that are varying levels of difficulty. So we get right into it. As you can see, the team that we're going to start with first is Leicester City, and the big one for Leicester is, can you repeat the fairy tale? 2016, 5,000 to 1, rank outsiders, Claudio Ranieri favourite to get sacked. Can you repeat the fairy tale and go on and win Leicester their second ever Premier League title? There is a much better squad than there was back then. They have a really well-rounded squad. Their back four is good. They've really good, probably arguably the best right back in the league in my opinion. James Justin, really good young left back. They have Jamie Vardy, Harvey Barnes, and Didi Sayuncu. I think it's a fabulous team here. The main thing, first off, the main decisions you would have to make is, how do you go about replacing Kasper Schmeichel and Jamie Vardy? Two leaders in the team, arguably the two best players at the moment. And the second big elephant in the room is, if you just go over the squad, I'm sure some of you can already see, there is already a lot of interest. Ndidi is wanted by City and Barcelona. Harvey Barnes, Chelsea, Man United. Sayuncu, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain. James Justin, Arsenal. I'm sure there's more if you go down the list there. Danny Ward, yeah. What? Real Madrid, that's weird. Okay, moving on. But yeah, you have an opportunity here to either do one of two things. You can keep going the way that Leicester go. Leicester sell players at the right price, at a high price, at a premium. They know their players are good. They're not in a position where they have to sell. But if someone meets their price, if someone wants to pay 80 million for Harry Maguire, have at it, lol. If someone wants to pay 50 million for Chilwell, fair enough. Or, do you want to change the culture of this club? Do you want to decide to try and hold on to these players, try and tie them all down to new contracts? Not that they're running out or anything, but try and get them to commit their long-term future to the club. Try and establish yourself as a Champions League regular. And obviously the main goal, repeat the fairy tale. Go and win the Premier League or the Champions League. Second on the list is Borussia Dortmund. The obvious idea for Borussia Dortmund, behind doing a save with Borussia Dortmund, is, can you topple Bayern Munich? Can you topple the Bavarian Giants, the biggest team in world football at the moment? Well, I don't know about biggest, but the best, certainly, definitely the best at this moment in time. They have won the competition, the Bundesliga, the past 8 times since Jurgen Klopp last won up Dortmund. They've struggled to move on since Jurgen Klopp. They've cycled through manager after manager, never really settling down with one. Can you be the man to steer the ship right? Can you be the man to take this group of wonder kids, along with some old veterans here like Rice and Hummels and Munier? Can you take Sancho, Haaland, Reina, Emre Can, Raf Guerrero, Dan Axel Zagadou? There is a seriously young and talented group of players here. Gio Reyna, Jude Bellingham, Julian Brandt, Thorgan Hazard. There is so many young, high potential players in this squad. You wouldn't believe. Just cutting in there, quick little update, or not update, but something that I missed. I completely glossed over the fact that the fella who was regarded as one of the best players on the game, Yusuf Moukoko, recently added in the winter update. I just signed him in my Manchester United FM save. He plays for Borussia Dortmund, and he's only in the under 18 squad because he's only 15 years old, but he's still ridiculous. And if you go into the save for like 2 years, 3 years even, he will be touching world class. He will be Mbappe levels of wonder kid coming through, and he alone is reason enough to start a save with Borussia Dortmund. The trouble is, can you hold on to them? Can you hold on to a man like Jadon Sancho, heavily linked with Man United in the summer, didn't go? Can you hold on to this man? Obviously a very ambitious boy, you'd imagine. Look at him. If you can get him to stay, he could be your Lewandowski. He could bring you to the top of the Bundesliga. He could win you the Champions League if you got him to stay here long enough. The question is, can you keep the talent, and can you unsit Bayern Munich at the top of the pile in the Bundesliga? Now, next on the list is Paris Saint-Germain. This is for the type of person who wants to have a really easy, straightforward first foray into management in the football manager world. As you know, this club is rich. You have 40 million to spend this season. Next season you will have 120 million to spend. And that does not include if Neymar wants to leave or if you decide to sell anyone else. The big deal for this club, obviously you can see here, absolute dominance in the league. The board don't care about the league. The Qatari owners do not care about the league or any French domestic competition for that matter. The board only have eyes on one prize, and that is European glory. They want to win the Champions League, and no manager so far has been able to do it. Will you be the one? If we have a look here at the team, there's an exceptional team here. Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria, obviously the spearhead. You have Kimpembe, Marquinhos. You have a really complete team. Fullbacks need work. That will be my area with your 40 million to spend, in my opinion. One thing I would say about this squad, it's absolutely packed full of value. So even though you have 40 million, which is a good bit, you could easily, very easily, get so much out of this team. You could sell. There's so much saleable assets here. Guys that are kind of in their just before prime. They're not really 30 yet, but they are really sellable assets. Sarabia, kind of Herrera, these sorts of guys. Mario Cardi, well, he's only signed, but there's loads of people there that are just ripe for selling, basically. And you could make an awful lot of money and reinvest in the squad in a sensible way to try and propel yourself to Champions League glory. If you look at Ligue 1, you're obviously season preview, obviously predicted to finish first. Your odds on to win the league, as always. I'm pretty sure that is ridiculous. That's your entire team. They're one player, Memphis Depay. That is mental. But yeah, can you bring PSG to European glory? The fourth team on our list is Ajax, and Ajax are obviously well known for producing young talent. This is kind of like a promote from within thing. This squad is absolutely packed with young talent, and the question is, can you bring them back to their past glories in Europe? They've obviously been fairly dominant in recent years in the domestic league. They always kind of have. Can you bring Ajax back to where they were under Johan Cruyff, the arena obviously named after him? This squad right now, from the Champions League semi-final, there is still a few really talented, high quality players in there. David Neres, really talented. Dusan Tadic still there. Tagliafico, Onana still there. Great keeper, Daley Blind. Then there's a lot of really good young talent in there as well. If we just have a look here. Gravenberch, obviously a massive man that you can build around. Midfielder is only 18 years old. He already looks exceptionally good for an 18-year-old. He is a player that you can really build the club around. And the reason that I have put these in the easy category, because obviously you will, under normal circumstances, you may struggle to establish yourselves as a European giant once again. But Ajax actually have one of the biggest transfer budgets in the game for the first season. Obviously, they don't have as much the next season, but they have 45 million to spend. I think, with obviously you have a lot of saleable assets here, you could easily turn that 45 million into 75 or 80 million and have a really reinvest that really well in the squad, and then I think you definitely challenge for Europe. Obviously, there is a worry that your players are going to be poached like always. Quincy Promes wanted by Wolves, David Nourish. Oh, that is a lot of people in for David Nourish. Do well to keep him. Mazaroy, Edson Alvarez is always a man who you see get big transfers in the game. But the question is, can you keep all these boys? Shout out to big old Seb Aller, transfer from West Ham. He's in the winter update. And yeah, the question is, can you return these boys to their former glories under Johan Cruyff and co? Now guys, the second last team on our list is Barcelona. Obviously, the massive question with Barcelona is, can you steady the ship? They are a giant in football that is in absolute ruins at the moment. 8-2 loss to Bayern Munich last year in the Champions League, an embarrassing moment for the club, an embarrassing debacle with Lionel Messi heading into the final year of his contract. Can you get this man to stay? Will he stay? Can you convince him that you are the man to lead this team forward and that you can win another Champions League before he retires, and convince him to sign a new contract and also stomach his 1.1 million per week wage, which is absolutely crippling the club? That's another debate. Maybe you should sell him. Maybe you should sell him and rebuild. The massive upside to this team is there is still so much quality here. Ter Stegen, Griezmann, you have Serginho Dest coming up here in the right back slot. You have so much good talent here. De Jong is a world class player. A lot of old players that need to be shipped. Obviously Pjanic, Busquets, Piqué, Alba come to mind straight away. But there is so much young talent as well then. If you look at the potential here, some boys. Trincao. Let's have a look at this guy. Young, really young. Whereas we have Pedri and Ansu Fati, who is wanted, but I'm sure you'll be able to keep them. These guys are, if you stick at the save for a couple of years, you are going to have some absolute worldies coming through. Another guy there called Ilax Mariba, if he's here, is he in the under-23s? Let me just have a look. See, where is he? Here. This guy just scored his first goal for Barcelona in real life a couple of days ago. There is so much young talent coming through, and there is a production line. Your regens in this save will just be absolutely sick. La Masia will just keep on producing world class. Look, there's some, I don't even know who these guys are. Balde, Akomak, Gavi. There's so many players coming through that are dripping with potential, and if you're able to rewrite the ship in the first season or two, you could be en route to Champions League glory within 3 or 4 years, easily. Now guys, the final team on this list. No, not that predictable. It's not Man United. The final team on this list is the team that you actually support in real life, because Football Manager is a ridiculously accurate game. They they leave no stone unturned when researching, getting accurate information for this game. What you know about your club in real life is 99% certain to be accurate in this game. I am a diehard Manchester United fan, so I decided that it was appropriate for me to start my YouTube FM career with Manchester United, because it's the club I feel most confident managing. I know exactly what needs to happen at the club, in my opinion. Whether I'm right or wrong, my knowledge of what's going on with all the players is, I know most of these players. I know all the players in the first team. I have a great deal of knowledge about the under-23s, and I even know a few of the under-18s as well. I have ideas of the league. I know the league because I watch us play against every other team in the league every week. If you support Fleetwood Town in League 2, I'm sure you'll know all the players in Fleetwood. You'll know who you think is good and who's bad. You'll know the players around you in that league at that level. You'll know players in that league that are good and that you could snap up. All you have to do is search them, and it is the easiest way to dip your toe into Football Manager is to start off with the club that you support in real life. If you support a club, if you don't support a club, why are you even playing Football Manager? It's about passion, man. It's about passion. I had a mate there, didn't never like football, and he was lacking a bit of passion. And he just went and done a little random wheel spin on Google, and now he's a diehard Crystal Palace fan. Awful club to get, but look, still, you see my point? I think that the best way to start off a save in Football Manager is to start off the club that you support and you love, because it will give you such a thrill and such an excitement to see them doing well. You will already be invested in the players from the minute you start. You will be invested in the save. You won't have to settle into it. I live for Tony Martial. I'd say that God's honest. Watching him tear Stones and Ruben Diaz shreds in real life in the game the last day, it'd bring a tear to a grown man's eye. Honestly would. Goes same for every one of these players here. I love my club, and it is the easiest way to start off in Football Manager. It's to go with the team you support, and then work from there. That's all from me, guys, today. Thank you very much for watching. If you like more of this sort of list content and sort of how to and how to get into it and tutorials and stuff, let me know. I'm going to be trying to do a bit more of this. I'm going to try and get a webcam so you can see my hideous face. And leave a like if you enjoyed. If you're new around here or you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.